Part 71. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 701. Chapter 701, Reconnected. This core actually requires magical power at the level of a Dharma god to open it. Then can we use the Dharma god's magic circle to directly increase the magic power to the Dharma god level? It seems that it won't work. Without Senior Dengbuletin, it would be difficult to bring this magic circle into full play with just our magic power. What about the magical crystal of Dharma God level? This is a way, but the problem is that because we trusted Dumble in the past, we also put this magical crystal of the Dharma God level into his hands. It is equivalent to saying that if Dengbuletin is not here now, then we will not be able to exert the power of the Dharma God level anyway, right? It seems to be like this. Everyone fell into silence again. Boom. At this moment, there was a violent banging sound outside the door. The Dharma god is resentful and trying to find a way to break through the door of this attic. However, this area has a sacred and purifying atmosphere, which protects the surroundings. For a moment, the resentment of these Dharma gods could not break in for the time being. The people inside wanted to get out, but couldn't. People outside want to come in, but can't. The scene just froze here. But, the Dharma god resentment is a group of monsters without intelligence. They only act based on instinct. If you say it's blocked here, it's really blocked here. But everyone in the Akatsuki organization is different. They are big living people, and when they are spending time here, they have a very bad attitude first of all. Although it is not impossible to use teleportation to return directly to the sacred tree island. This kind of forced teleportation, the rules in the Grey World are very powerful, and it seems that there is nothing that can block the teleportation of the sacred tree. Oh, if there really is one, it would only be interrupted by a violent attack or death damage before the teleportation. That can block teleportation. But for now, there is no power in the Grey World that can forcibly interrupt the teleportation of the Divine Tree Master. In other words, when a Divine Tree Master is faced with an unknown situation, as long as he can ensure his immortality and has the teleportation skill in his hand, he has considerable room for maneuver. But the problem is that the next time they enter the fog of the Grey World, they will continue to return to their original position. This is very embarrassing. By then, this group of madmen with resentment from the god of magic may completely destroy the magic library. If this place becomes a turbulent void, or a very dangerous forbidden area, then wouldn't everyone in the Akatsuki organization step into the grey mist and be declared dead? Do you want to explore the Grey World in the future? So, this situation is still not optimistic for everyone in the Akatsuki organization. At this moment, a teleporting light curtain suddenly appeared around everyone. Everyone in the Akatsuki organization was completely stunned. Who used teleportation here? Moreover, this teleportation is not directly returning to the sacred tree island, but something is coming over soon. Some members of the Dark Knight Alliance and the Wizard Gang were startled by the movements around them. When they were about to use magic to deal with the intruder, Xiao Chang'an shouted loudly, "Wait, you all stop, in this light curtain the figure seems to be one of ours." Everyone was stunned. Moment. From the light curtain, Dengbuletin's figure actually walked out. Denbu, who had disappeared for a long time, has he reconnected? Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 702. Chapter 702, The Chosen One. The moment Dengbuletin walked out of the light curtain, everyone in the Xiao organization stared at the scene in front of them with incredible eyes. Dengbuletin is back. Wasn't there any news just now? Why did it appear out of nowhere now? Ahem. Dengbuletin coughed slightly and blushed. Everyone, we apologize for the inconvenience caused by not being able to reply to the message just now. When I just solved this matter, I sent it as soon as possible. I'll tell you about what happened before. As soon as these words came out, everyone in the Akatsuki organization was shocked. You must know that the panel of the Divine Tree Master can be controlled with thoughts as the driving force. No matter how critical the situation is, even if it is about to face even after death, the Divine Tree Master can also use his own thoughts to spend the last second to transmit the message he wants to transmit. The whole process may not even take a second. It depends on the mental strength of the Divine Tree Master. Similar to top magicians like Dumble, the value of mental power is extremely exaggerated. To send a message, it can be achieved almost in an instant. But since Dumble is facing the situation, he cannot do it in that situation. It can be imagined that it should be a very important thing to reply to the message at this time. Everyone in the Xiao organization was also very curious. What happened to Deng Buletin? Even a strong man of his level could not even send a message. Can you do it? At this moment, Denbu glanced at the magic circle in the attic. The next second, he raised his wand slightly. The terrifying magic power instantly gathered on Denbu's wand. That for a moment, the expressions of everyone present completely changed. Damn it, what a terrifying magic power. What level of magician can release this magic power? Senior Deng Buletin's magic power seems to have grown by leaps and bounds compared to before. That's right, Senior Deng Buletin's magic power was as vast as a river before, but it didn't give me such a transcendent and completely irresistible feeling. Could it be that Senior Dengbu encountered some shocking opportunity when he was in the magic library, so he went to check it out and got a breakthrough? It's very possible. Then what do you think, has Senior Deng Buletin reached the level of a Dharma god now? This. Just when everyone was extremely surprised and talking a lot suddenly. An extremely dazzling light flows from the magic circle, exuding an extremely mysterious aura. The lines of the magic circle suddenly overflowed with light, as if they came to life in an instant. The mysterious textures were endlessly intertwined, exuding the infinite luster of mysteries. At this moment, the transcendent Dharma God aura suddenly surged. In the attic, with a rumbling sound, the magic circle started to rotate. After injecting magic power, the magic circle here was completely activated. The third level waiting for everyone, now, has also been officially opened. This. The blonde young lady's eyes were filled with shock. He looked at the magic circle activated in the attic, and then looked at Deng Bu. His eyes suddenly showed extremely complicated emotions. It was like seeing some incredible miracle happening in front of me. Actually, did the chosen one really appear? The blonde young shot murmured to himself. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 703. Chapter 703 Direction of the Attic. However, the surprised look on the blonde young lady did not attract the attention of everyone present. Everyone's eyes were focused on the magic circle in the attic. Buzz. Along with the sound of the avenue, it flowed out from the door. The intertwined patterns of the endless laws and mysteries are revealed. At this moment, everyone feels an incredible aura circulating here. God, this smell is so transcendent. Is it really magic? I feel that if any magician in the grey world could feel this ultimate aura, he would be completely crazy about it. It's as if the existence here has opened the door to truth, leading to the most extreme road. Just by sensing these breaths, I feel like my magical attainments have been greatly improved. It's hard to imagine what kind of state you will reach if you really understand all the mysteries of it. That would probably create a path that is unprecedented and unprecedented. At this moment, everyone was looking at everything in front of them with pious eyes. Boom! Suddenly, the magic power automatically spurted out from the bodies of many people present, turning into a long ink-colored river, with a shocking momentum. There was a breakthrough. Ha ha ha, it's really a breakthrough. My realm is half a step from the original Dharma Saint, and now I have reached the peak level of Dharma Saint. This is so cool. It feels like I'm about to break through too. Could this aura of profound truth be of such great benefit to all of us? Everyone felt the change in their own magic power, and they couldn't help showing expressions of surprise. Most of the people present sensed this transcendent magical aura, and their own realm automatically broke through a major stage. Everyone in the Xiao organization was even more surprised. I feel extremely happy. Because, compared to others, they have swallowed Lushu's infinite deduction fruit and are the most sensitive to the breadth of this avenue. The progress of breakthrough is naturally much faster than others. At this time, Longzijian sat down directly cross-legged, closed his eyes, completely immersed himself in it, and had a moment of enlightenment. Others almost made similar movements. After a moment, Xiao Chang'an opened his eyes, and his eyes revealed a divine look. Mang smiled and said, I feel that I am getting closer and closer to the realm of the Dharma God. Bye. You also nodded. Now, the difference between us and the God of Dharma may only be magic power, but in terms of attainment level, there is no big difference from the God of Dharma. The prodigal sword chuckled and said, now let alone the resentment of those Dharma gods, even if the Dharma God comes in person, I am confident that I can fight these guys. And Eli rolled his eyes at the prodigal sword and said, stop pretending to be cool here. Although our strength has improved, which is true, there are too many resentful Dharma gods outside, not one or two, not dozens, but thousands of them. Why don't you go out and have a grudge against those Dharma gods? Ahem, let's forget it. Liang Zijian glanced at the Dharma god outside the door with resentment. His heart froze, and he felt that life is more important. Are you pretending? Just give him a blow and it's over. No one would really do this, which is no different from seeking death. Something happened, right? Then, everyone's eyes focused on the direction of the attic again. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 704. Chapter 704, Realm Improvement. Xiao Chang'an said, everyone, what do you think of the contents of this array? Bai Yu opened her eyes and looked at it carefully. Subsequently, he slowly made a judgment and said, after the magic circle is fully opened, I feel that the characters inside are more transcendent. Even we can't deduce what is behind it. The prodigal sword's mind suddenly moved. Wait, then we won't be stuck at this level, right? At this time, everyone in the Akatsuki organization also discovered that even if they swallowed the infinite deduction fruit, the mystery behind the magic circle was difficult to deduce at their current level. Both the personality and the corresponding level have exceeded their current maximum limit and the scope of exploration. Now everyone started to worry again. It seemed that they had encountered a barrier again. And Le said with a sad look on his face, it feels like the levels this time are really getting harder every time. When will they end? Su Qing nodded and agreed, I also find it very difficult. Our magic power has obviously been improved. The level of magic attainments has also been improved, but it still feels like this attic contains endless levels, as if there is no chance to solve them. Xiao Chang'an said, everyone, why don't we give it a try and use this fruits? What do you think of combining the deduction capabilities and then transmitting them to Senior Den Buletin? Is it possible to find an opportunity? As soon as he finished speaking, the expressions of everyone in the Xiao organization immediately lit up. Yes. Of course there is no problem with their deduction ability. But the key point is that the magic mysteries in the magic circle are so high that even magic gods are intimidated, let alone a group of magicians like them who are not even half a step away from the magic god level. Still, in the ordinary world, trying to deduce such a supreme level is tantamount to wishful thinking. But everyone is not qualified enough, maybe Denbuletin will have a chance. After their strength was improved, everyone in the Xiao organization discovered that the magical personality in Denbuletin had undergone unimaginable changes. It is like being separated by a layer of extremely deep fog. If you explore deeply, you will only see an endless abyss, and you will not be able to explore the true depth at all. This feeling made everyone in the Xiao organization feel unprecedented surprise. Even though there was a gap between them and Denbuletin, they had never felt such an unimaginable gap in realm before. What's more, when the magic circle was opened, everyone here broke through. But only Denbuletin maintained his original state without any changes. Therefore, in the period from before the magic circle was opened to after it was opened, the magical attainments of everyone in the Akatsuki organization have been further enhanced. But even so, it's still impossible to see Dumble's height. As a result, everyone in the Akatsuki organization was even more surprised. What happened during the time when Dumble disappeared that caused this magician to undergo such unimaginable changes? Good. Without further ado, let's try this method immediately. Senior Denbuletin, please connect with us through your thoughts, and we will deduce the next content with you. Xiao Chang'an slapped the case. Denbuletin nodded. Although his magic level had improved, he knew that the Xiao organization had extraordinary methods. Naturally, he followed what they said. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 705. Chapter 705, the next second, the resonance fruit connects the minds of everyone in the Akatsuki organization with Denbuletin. At the same time, the ability to infinitely deduce fruits has also begun to operate. When everyone's thoughts are connected together. Dumble was suddenly shocked. He felt that his deduction ability had increased by thousands of times. No. To be precise, the endless secrets reflected in Denbuletin's eyes became extremely clear. It's as if the legendary divine revelation has begun. Can hear the will of God. If you have any doubts in your mind, you only need to think about it for a while and you will get the perfect answer immediately. Denbuletin took a deep breath and thought to himself, is this their deduction ability? By the way, the attic has been opened. From my observation, their status is actually not enough to solve the previous levels. But when I came here, the level in the attic had been cracked to this level. No wonder, it turns out that these big guys have such powerful abilities and can deduce all things. Could it be an extremely powerful fruit of the divine tree? After thinking about it again, Denbu also had the answer in his mind. Obviously, many members of the Xiao organization have the same ability. Of course it will not be their exclusive divine tree ability. In this way, this ability is the ability of the guild. So, who gave these abilities? Of course it was the mysterious president. Denbuletin was surprised. Although he had never met the mysterious president, through the knowledge of the Akatsuki organization, everyone he already has a deep respect for such existences due to the abilities he has shown. No matter from what aspects, the abilities shown make people feel that this mysterious president is simply terrifyingly powerful. A fruit that can calculate everything, just given to the members of the guild so casually. It can only mean that this fruit is definitely not the god-level ability possessed by the mysterious president. He also has many fruits of this level. Any sacred tree master, as long as he can possess the top fruits, can stand at the pinnacle of the sacred tree world and gain a place. However, such a mysterious figure can produce so many powerful fruits at will, which is simply overwhelming. It's unimaginable. Denbuletin took a breath and felt more and more that this mysterious president was elusive and could not clearly see his reality. He could only lament that his own realm was compared with such strong men. There is still a huge gap. No matter how hard you practice in the future, you still don't know if you can compare with it. The gap can only make people lament that it is like competing with the sun and the moon for the glory. It makes people unable to rise and compete with it. The idea of comparison. Let the deduction begin. Denbuletin's heart moved slightly. Then, without hesitation, he directly used his ability to deduce the secrets of heaven, and began to organize everyone's thoughts with Xiao to connect them together. The next second, the brilliance of the endless secret law surged around Denbuletin. At this time, everyone in the Xiao organization couldn't help but be shocked. They realized that Denbuletin's personality was simply beyond their imagination. It was similar to the god of Dharma, but it seemed to be different from the god of Dharma. What was the difference between them? Since everyone in the Akatsuki organization has not yet reached the realm of Dharma God, they cannot explain clearly. But they instinctively sense that Denbuletin's personality is obviously different from that of ordinary Dharma God. What is going on? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 706. Chapter 706, The Resentment of the Dharma God. Boom. At this moment, there was a violent turbulence outside the attic, and the whole earth trembled. Everyone turned their heads. I saw the resentment of the Dharma God outside the attic, as if he had been greatly stimulated by something, and started to hit the attic crazily like crazy. It seems that he wants to open this door and prevent all this from happening at any cost. Judging from their abnormal behavior, it seems that there is something more terrifying than breaking into the attic. The prodigal sword was slightly stunned and said, "Are these guys crazy? They exist as resentful spirits. If they encounter the sacred aura here, they will disappear instantly. Are you tired of living in such a hurry to break in?" The blonde young lady's expression turned ugly and she said if they were ordinary spirits, then they would have rashly broke into this place and would have been instantly wiped out. But the resentment of the Dharma God is different. During his lifetime, he had extremely strong magical attainments. Moreover, with such a huge number of people pouring in at the same time, maybe some of them will be able to stand in front of us alive. Bai Yu's expression also became serious. I saw outside the attic, there were at least tens of thousands of Dharma and God resentments gathered outside the door. The number was almost 100 times more than when we started. Hiss. When this data was announced, everyone here couldn't help but take a breath. At the beginning, although there were a lot of resentments among the Dharma gods, they had not yet reached such a terrifying amount. There are still quite a few Dharma gods' resentments that have not been fully formed. Or maybe they haven't escaped from the books yet. Therefore, the situation is not as bad as it is now. But, tens of thousands of Dharma god resentments. This number is a bit outrageous. Everyone here, except for Denbuletin's mysterious realm, the others they have not yet reached the realm of Dharma God. But they have to face tens of thousands of Dharma God level enemies. Thinking about this is an extremely nerve-wracking thing. If any of the divine tree masters in the Grey World, even if it is the top sacred tree guild, if it encounters an enemy of this level, I am afraid that all of them will be declared dead. At this moment, everyone in the Xiao organization is also facing an unprecedented crisis. If all the resentment of these magic gods is allowed to come in, and find a suitable host, then I'm afraid you will encounter unimaginable enemies. The blonde young lady solemnly said, "You must smash all the magic circles as soon as possible and obtain the purification sacred tools inside. Only in this way can we have the same power as these, the capital, to fight against the Dharma god's resentment." Everyone nodded. Although this sentence is completely nonsense. But at this moment, we still have to deduce the method as quickly as possible. At this moment, Denbu's eyes reflected endless secrets. He had the status seems to have suddenly risen. This breath. The blonde young lady showed a look of great surprise. It was unimaginable to him that Denbu could burst out with such terrifying magical power in an instant, as if he was transcendent of everything. Just then, Dumble raised his wand. Move towards the magic circle and tap lightly. Buzz. The sound of the avenue continues to echo in this small attic. A golden light pierced through like a sharp sword, making it difficult for everyone to open their eyes. Boom. Amidst a violent roar, the magic circle was falling apart rapidly. This scene, everyone was stunned. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 707. Chapter 707 is completely cracked. Now. The surface of the magic circle that shrouded the attic instantly showed signs of cracks. Like broken glass, reflecting the colorful light, golden mantras condensed into talismans, flying all over the sky, like dancing elves. The picture was so beautiful that it made people crazy for a moment. Xiao Chang'an said in disbelief, how could such a mysterious magic circle be solved so easily? Bai Yu said with emotion, as expected of Senior Deng Buletin, he just used a magic wand so lightly, as if he had divine power. Turn decay into magic. And Le said with a smile, fortunately, in our dungeon this time, Senior Deng Buletin opened the way for us. It seems that knowledge is power. This sentence is absolutely correct. Long Zijian nodded in agreement. One sentence. Well, Kendo knowledge seems to be very important, but I don't know where I can get such level of Kendo knowledge. As soon as these words came out, everyone couldn't help but give Liang Zijian a blank look. This guy really doesn't seem to care about anything except his sword. Even magic knowledge can involve knowledge of swordsmanship. Besides, what kind of knowledge is needed for swordsmanship? Isn't it the kind of knowledge that can be achieved through countless fights to become a true skill, or the kind of skill that can be drawn and slashed with a sword when the attributes are full? If we have to talk about knowledge, even if we only have the enlightenment of the Great Road, we can have some connections. Just when everyone in the Akatsuki organization was sighing with emotion, the eyes of the blonde young Shota also showed shock. No one understands better than him how much magical attainments are required to open the magic circle in this attic. That must be a magical attainment recognized by God. You know, this guy is still an outsider. For outsiders to obtain the heavenly chosen certification, it would be thousands of times more difficult. It's not on the same level at all. He himself has not seen any magician in nearly tens of thousands of years who can open the path of heaven's choice and obtain such certification. From this point of view, I actually looked down on the other party as an old man before, but not even a day later, the other party has developed to a level that is beyond my reach. The blonde young lady only felt a toothache. She felt that she was really unlucky recently and everything was not going well. What went wrong, right now? In the attic, a strange buzzing sound came from the avenue. The endless mystical magic light came from inside, turned into a sacred aura, and enveloped everyone. Now. Bai Yu's eyes moved slightly and said, I saw a transcendent energy that seemed to be integrating with us. Yes. The blonde young lady shrugged and explained, it's normal. You have passed the certification of the magic circle and become part of it. In this case, it is certainly not uncommon to obtain the gift of power. Congratulations. In the future, your magic power will contain the breath of this sacred magic power, which will help you break through to the realm of the Dharma God. No, to be precise, hit the realm above the Dharma God. With the personality inside, it's completely enough. When the blonde young lady spoke, her tone was full of envy. How could he not wish to become such a great magician and receive such gifts? In this way, perhaps things could turn around for the better. Finally, the attic magic circle has been completely cracked. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 708. Chapter 708, Rush. Boom. A violent sound echoed in everyone's ears. It was like thunder exploding. After the magic circle shattered, what was displayed in front of everyone was an extremely mysterious light curtain. That light curtain contains the power of space laws, and seems to be connected to another strange space. This scene made everyone a little confused. Liang Zijian couldn't help but ask, shouldn't it be that yellow-haired boy in the attic talking about the sacred aura? Is this the thing? After saying that, he turned his eyes to the blonde young lady. However, the other party shrugged and said irresponsibly, don't look at me, I only know that there is such a place from relevant ancient records, but I have never been there. What's more, the records in the book are different from reality. Isn't this normal? Everyone was speechless. Co-author, it turns out that this guy doesn't know what's in it. It seems, he is indeed an unreliable guy. Bai Yu's eyes moved slightly and said, if I read it correctly, this light curtain should be the teleportation array. Oh? Xiao Chang'an was slightly startled and said, it's actually a teleportation array. Could it be that this attic will teleport us somewhere? Bai Yu nodded and said, actually, I haven't encountered similar things at all when I was performing tasks in other guilds. Some trial places are only opened for the brave. Therefore, a teleportation array will be specially set up. As long as you break through the previous levels, you can start the final trial. I guess that this teleportation array is set up here, and it should also be the place leading to the final assessment. Only by completing the final trial can we obtain this final reward. After Bai Yu's explanation, everyone suddenly realized. No wonder, a teleportation formation appeared in the attic. It turns out that there is such a profound meaning in it. At the same time, everyone couldn't help but take a high look at Bai Yu. The girl looks very young and has a beautiful face, but she didn't expect to have so much experience. She is truly a hero among women. Everyone came to the front of the teleportation light screen, and stopped for a moment, thinking for a long time. Xiao Chang'an said loudly, since there is no other way for us to stay here, then naturally we should teleport directly there. Even though there are unimaginable dangers ahead, we have overcome all kinds of difficulties and finally set foot here. The moment when the magic circle is opened. I also feel that the magical aura of all the fellow Taoists has been greatly improved, and their strength should be stronger. Although we don't know what dangers lie ahead during this experience, if we can survive this disaster, then what awaits us will definitely be an extremely bright future. Therefore, we have nothing to hesitate now, we can just come with troops to cover up the water and the earth. Xiao Chang'an's words instantly boosted the morale of the whole team. Everyone nodded, and suddenly felt that the road ahead was not so scary. After all, the background of this magic circle was too big, and it caused countless spells. God's resentment has come. Originally, these disasters have been beyond the control of everyone, and now there is a final trial. It makes people feel guilty. They doubt whether they can pass. But, everyone has no other choice now. There is only one way. Rush. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 709. Chapter 709, this guy is mocking himself. That's right, we don't have many other options now. We have reached this stage, there is nothing to hesitate. As long as we can pass this altar, our strength will definitely achieve a great breakthrough. Without further ado, let's go now. Everyone is cheering for themselves, with excitement written on their faces. The morale is high. Originally, the guild members who were still a little hesitant and scared were emboldened by the members of the Akatsuki organization. It seemed that there was nothing to be afraid of. Although the test of the road ahead has become more difficult than before, the current level of everyone's realm has not improved. Compared with when they first entered the dungeon, obviously. Their realm strength is now much stronger than before. But because everyone in the Akatsuki organization stood in the front and solved many difficulties, Their enhanced strength was not used. The understanding of their own realm was still at the time when they first entered the dungeon. Even if they get back 10,000 bulletins said. Behind the members of the Akatsuki organization, there is also the mysterious president. If it doesn't work, this mysterious president might take action at a critical moment. Let everyone understand what true divine power is. Think about it this way. It seems that encountering danger is nothing to be afraid of. Everyone gathered. Xiao Chang'an walked around, counted the number of people present, and after confirming that no one was missing, he said loudly, "Everyone, let's go through the light gate at the same time. When you go through it, you don't know what else will happen, so you need to prevent it from being teleported to a different location. So, in this process, try to keep the resonance vision constant. At the same time, if any unexpected situation occurs, we must promptly notify and communicate with each other through the information system in the panel. Do you understand?" Everyone nodded. In addition to the power of resonance, the panel that comes with the Divine Tree Master system can be used in any situation in the Grey World. Oh, except for death. But with this guarantee, at least if something unexpected happens, communication can still be obtained in time. The risk factor is greatly reduced. Then, everyone in the Akatsuki organization led the other members and took the lead in crossing the light door. Buzz buzz. A strange sound echoed all around. The teleportation array suddenly erupted with a burst of terrifying energy, and began to shake violently. Baiyu comforted, "Don't panic, this is when the teleportation array is activated, triggering a lot of energy, that's why there is such a big movement." However, there was no problem with the internal structure, and the transmission was carried out safely. The blonde young lady muttered, "I don't know who you guys are. You have never been here, but when it comes to talking about some things, you actually know better than me." Everyone was speechless when they heard the words of the blonde young lady. "It's because you are such a waste and you have no ability in the first place, right? You are not reliable at all. But, apart from this, the Sacred Tree Masters, I also realized that although magic can reach a very high level, it still has limitations in some levels and aspects. However, the world of the Sacred Tree can trade powers with each other and has different abilities and characteristics. Perhaps, in the future, we will have the most favorable conditions to fight against these high-level copies of the Grey World. However, the current world of the Sacred Tree is full of overt and secret fights between guilds. Basically no one is willing to develop properly and become bigger and stronger together, let alone it is to sacrifice one's own interests to make the overall strength of the Divine Tree world stronger, so that in future battles, one can have the capital to deal with other enemies. It feels like the rules specified at the beginning of the Divine Tree game, only the last living god, only the Tree Master can win the final victory in this game. It seems to be a trap. After everyone discussed the matter, then they started to walk towards the light door. "Wait for me!" the blonde young lady shouted from behind the crowd. Etc. "Are you not the administrator of the library here? How can you still leave here?" Liang Zijian couldn't help but complain. "But I am a spirit," the blonde Shota said. "Besides, I also have magical attainments, okay? I can separate a small spirit body to follow you. Maybe I can give you guidance during the battle." Having said that, a Q-version mini-spirit body separated from his body in an instant and jumped onto Baiyu's shoulders. Everyone was completely shocked. Unexpectedly, this guy can actually cast magic? They almost thought that this child was useless and had no use except for showing off. "I didn't expect that I could still give everyone a whole job." "What?" The blonde young lady noticed the strange looks from everyone, her heart skipped a beat, and she said with an unconvinced look on her face, "It's nothing, I just feel like you've done something amazing, it's like a miracle." Liang Zijian shook his head and said. The blonde young shot was stunned for a moment, and after thinking for a moment, he seemed to realize that this guy was mocking him. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 710. Chapter 710, The Power of God. The moment they stepped into the teleportation array, everyone in the Akatsuki organization was instantly enveloped in a star-like brilliance. They suddenly felt the void around them, as if it was instantly distorted and then reorganized, and their bodies were being pulled by a strong force. It feels like, it's flying away to a very far away place. Xiao Chang'an sent a message everyone, the distance of this teleportation is very long, and it consumes a lot of energy. It may be difficult for the body to resist, but the way of using magic seems to be able to offset the negative effects of teleportation. Other guild members heard that they all tried it one after another. Not everyone is as strong as the members of the Akatsuki organization. They can directly resist the teleportation effect with their physical fitness. Some sacred tree masters can't bear this energy. Fortunately, according to Xiao Chang'an's method, it seems possible to use magic to offset the negative effects of teleportation. Especially the magical aura that comes with divine purification. After passing the tests at the front of the attic, everyone present received the gift of divine magic. Although this magic power is quite rare, but just adding this little bit will have an impact on the magician's magic power that can be compared to a qualitative change. Completely different. No matter what magic is cast, there is a sacred aura attached to it. It's equivalent to having an extra heaven-defying effect. SSS-level sacred tree fruits are inferior to them. As the light of the stars descended, everyone in the Akatsuki organization felt their bodies tremble. Feet on the earth. The surrounding blurry images like water waves gradually showed a clear appearance from the torn and distorted state. Under the inky sky, an ancient altar spanned in front of everyone. It exudes the simplicity of timelessness. Around the altar, there are mottled cracks covering it, showing traces of erosion over time. It is quiet and simple, which makes people feel shocked. An ancient chime is placed on the right side of the altar. It's like preparing for a ceremony. Bai Yu's eyes fell on the chime bell, and she said with surprise, with my white eyes, I can't see through the origin of the chime bell. It should be the ruins of an ancient artifact. Even ordinary gods of law may not be able to see through it at this time. The blonde young lady explained this bell is a sacred instrument from the Holy Land before. It is specially used to carry out the ceremony of heaven's selection, and it has the power of the gods. According to legend, the chosen one will be selected in the heavenly selection ceremony to ascend to the god realm and become the new god of magic. But, this holy weapon has lost the power of the gods. Although the material is extraordinary, difficult to break with ordinary iron, and indestructible, it has finally lost its most powerful ability and is of no use. Having said that, the blonde young lady also used a tone of emotion. It was as if she was a living fossil that had been around for a long time. But everyone in the Akatsuki organization didn't seem to accept this at all. Even after hearing these words, their faces changed. He didn't show any surprise. Now, the blonde young lady couldn't stand it anymore. No, let me give you some reactions together. I explained a lot here, but I didn't even get any feedback. Hey. You won't treat me like air and ignore me, will you? Unexpectedly, the first person to reply was actually the prodigal sword. However, his tone was still sarcastic, saying what you said. Yes, since this holy weapon is indestructible and has extremely strong defensive power, wouldn't it be beautiful to just take it and dismantle it and make it into armor for self-defense? After that, I stretched out my hand to touch the set of chimes. Hello. The blonde young lady quickly stopped him and said, are you crazy? Although the power of a god is gone, a sacred weapon is a sacred weapon after all. Why is it used to make armor? The sacred weapon was once empowered by the gods and bound to the gods' thoughts. If you completely destroy the sacred artifact, Aren't you afraid of offending the gods behind it and causing disaster to yourself? Liang Zijian sneered and said, you are talking like a magic stick. If there is really any god, then your country has been almost destroyed. Why haven't you seen your god to help you? This. The blonde young lady looked aggrieved and wanted to find some words to refute, but unfortunately, it seemed that she couldn't find any. Xiao Chang'an smoothed things over at this time and said, okay, this sacred artifact cannot be tampered with. We haven't inquired about the situation here yet. If we rashly touch the things here, it will cause variables. We should be cautious in everything, host. Okay, I was just kidding. Liang Zijian shrugged and smiled. At this time, Bai Yu walked to the front of the altar and said with surprise. You see, this altar has 3 prismatic grooves, which seem to be inlaid for something. Everyone came forward to take a look. A stone tablet stood at the door of the altar. When the members of the Akatsuki organization approached the door of the altar, buzzing, the surrounding magic circle suddenly began to move on its own. The protective formation suddenly opened like an umbrella, blocking the entrance.